Hey everyone, welcome back to Arijit Talk Sports. This is Arijit, and today we are talking Formula One again. We're talking about Carlos Sainz's move to Ferrari, Danny Rick's move to McLaren, and where is Vettel headed next? Sebastian Vettel parting ways with Ferrari at the end of the 2020 season really just brought about an earthquake in the drivers' market of Formula One. Now, we were talking about where would Vettel go next. We were also talking about who would replace Vettel at Ferrari. But there have been a lot of driver moves which have happened. So let's talk about it. Now, talking about the empty seat of Ferrari for the 2021 season. Now, while Hamilton was my first choice for that seat at Ferrari, I did say that I don't actually expect him to make that move. I expect him to be committed to Mercedes, and that is what he is doing. Now, my second choice was Danny Ricciardo, and I said that this move is the most likely to happen. Didn't end up happening. My third choice was Carlos Sainz, and I said he's the second most likely to go to Ferrari, and he indeed ended up going. Now, why do I think Ferrari chose Carlos Sainz over Danny Ricciardo? Because I think he's 5 years younger, first of all. I think he has more upside because when you look at the performances that he has given along with Lando Norris and the way he has been responsible for McLaren's resurgence in Formula One, especially last season, I think he just shows the character that he has, the character that he possesses, the talent that he has, and the places that he can go. And I think that really impressed Ferrari. They think that at 25 years old, he can do amazing stuff in a Ferrari car. He can actually win world championships. Now, they have told him that, according to reports, they have told him that you are going to be the number 2 at Ferrari behind Charles Leclerc. But there are people who know Carlos Sainz. They're telling that he's not going to accept that number 2 position so easily. He's going to go out there and fight. He's going to go out there and fight for the world championship. He's in a Ferrari car after all, and he's going to give Charles Leclerc a run for his money. And that will be amazing to watch. And I think that is the reason why the performances that he showed with McLaren really show that he will not be afraid when he's put into a Ferrari car, and he'll be willing to fight for it. Now, why did I think Danny Ricciardo was a better choice? Now, that was Ferrari's opinion. They think Carlos Sainz is better. I think Danny Ricciardo would have been better because I think he has proven himself in the Formula One circuit. While Carlos Sainz is a great driver, he has had a beautiful last season. I think Danny Ricciardo, with the experience that he has, if given a good car, he would actually be in the running for the world championship, from the get-go, from the first season that he would get a championship winning car. And I really think he has never had a championship winning car. I mean, the move to Renault was just stupid in my opinion. Then Red Bull wasn't that good enough. Now, for me, I would have definitely wanted to see Danny Rick, or preferred to see Danny Rick in a Ferrari car, in that Ferrari position. I think he's the more safer choice. He would have brought more guarantee, brought more experience, but definitely Carlos Sainz is the more interesting choice because, I mean, the upside that he brings, the talent that he brings to the table, nobody can doubt that. And right now, Ferrari have a very young driver lineup. When you look at Charles Leclerc, he's just 22 years old. Carlos Sainz is just 25 years old. So exciting things coming up for Ferrari. Now, talking about McLaren, I really thought that Sebastian Vettel would have been the best man for the job, and McLaren would have been the best spot for him after leaving Ferrari. That didn't end up happening. Danny Rick has moved to McLaren right now. So, what can Danny Rick bring for McLaren? With Lando Norris just being 19-20 years old, I think Danny Rick can bring a lot of experience. He can, just really guide Lando Norris in these early stages, and he can set him up for the future. But apart from that, he brings experience at a time where McLaren are rebuilding. As I said, they're on their way up, they're performing, they're improving. They're a very exciting team. So seeing Danny Rick in that car is actually very exciting. Now, I do understand that he won't be competing for the World Championship for the next 2-3 years at least. He has to move to a top tier team if he wants to compete for the World Championship. But with the 2021 regulations coming in, you don't know, McLaren might even give, the Red Bulls and the Ferraris and the Mercedes a run for their money. So you don't know, they might actually be good next season, but definitely he won't be competing for the World Championship. So exciting time for McLaren because obviously they'll get a lot out of Danny Ricciardo. Now, I hope that Danny Ricciardo can use this time to gain some good experience and to prove to these big teams that he actually deserves a place in a championship winning car, because if he cannot and if he flops, then I think that's it for him. Then that's it for his dream of winning a world championship in Formula One. Now, let's touch up on Sebastian Vettel a bit. Now, talking about Sebastian Vettel, I thought the best place for him to go would be McLaren. Now, that place has been taken up by Danny Rick. That cannot end up happening. Can he move to Mercedes? Well, I think no, it's unlikely. It would be amazing to see him move to Mercedes, but I think Mercedes won't be really keen keen to see that move happening because, I mean, they have Valtteri Bottas. He's a great number 2 man. They have the number 1 driver as Lewis Hamilton. They don't want to give Lewis Hamilton any competition right now. In my opinion, it would really be a blockbuster and a pretty dramatic move if Vettel actually ends up moving to Mercedes, but I don't see that happening. Talking about Ferrari, he's out of there. Red Bull, and I think this is the best place for him to go right now. If Vettel can go back to Red Bull, if Red Bull can take him back, it will be lovely. I think he has a lot to give there, and he could be a great mentor to Max Verstappen, and probably even give him a run for his money. So that would be exciting to watch. But then I also need to mention that just the beautiful performance that Alex Albon has had after moving from Toro Rosso to Red Bull last season. It would be just really unfair to just ask him to get up and leave after these amazing performances so that just Sebastian Vettel can come in. So that would be unfair on him. But I think personally for Sebastian Vettel, this would be the ideal move. But does it seem likely? No, I think they're going to stick with Alex Albon. Now, while we're done with that, it really seems that Sebastian Vettel at just 32 years old is headed for retirement because all these moves seem unlikely, and I don't expect him to be moving to a very lower end team like a Alfa Romeo or a Williams or any of those teams or a Renault. So I think Sebastian Vettel might be headed for retirement, and that is very, very unfortunate news for me personally because I think for every other Formula 1 fan, because I think he has a lot more to give. He's a 4-time world champion. He's an amazing driver, and I think he has a lot more to give to Formula 1. I really, really hope that he finds a good team for the 2021 season. But right now, in my opinion, he looks headed for retirement. With that, we come to the end of the video. Comment section में comment करके बताना कि आपको क्या लगता है. How good can Carlos Sainz be at Ferrari? What will Danny Rick do at McLaren? And where should Sebastian Vettel go next? मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगेगा आपके comments को पढ़ के. So this was just a video of me rambling about all these Formula 1, driver changes that have been happening since last week. But अगर आपको मजा आया इस वीडियो में तो please like, comment, share and subscribe and see you guys in the next one as always.